Now we will see the demo of employee learning and functional evaluation for given employees, how that can be done on this platform. This platform is primarily for the HR professionals or the learning professionals who want to evaluate the employees, internal employees, for their functional evaluation on the given functional roles, or even for those employees who are considered for promotions to given roles. This functional evaluation test can be used, and you can actually find out how fit the employee is for a given functional role. So for example, if you want to see somebody's proficiency as a project manager or as a leadership in a given leadership role, or even for a sales position like a sales executive or senior sales executive position, or a business development position, or a business analyst position, all those roles can be evaluated using this particular platform and the model that we have used. Now, on the screen, on the dashboard, you see there are multiple options given. Under quick links, there are 4 options. First is manage role, second is manage employees, third is view demo, and fourth is buy licenses. I will explain all of them one by one. And then you also see there are certain fields which are on the top of the screen that also I'll explain. So let me first start with the quick links, and then I'll go to the fields which are there on the dashboard. First, you see there's manage roles. So under this, you can create and manage your roles. For example, you have created a role for, say, project manager, or you have created a role for sales executive, or you have created a role for a business development executive or a business analysis. Those roles you can manage from here, which means you can make any changes to the given role, or you can also change the parameters which are used for doing the evaluation. So I'll go into that. The second is manage employees. In this, when you've already created a role with the managed role, you can add employees to a given role, and then those tests will be assigned automatically to these employees, and they can write the test, the functional evaluation test. And the third is view demo. Under this, you can just see the demo of how to use the platform as a HR professional or as a learning professional within the organization. And fourth is buy licenses. Basically, when you want to assign this evaluation to an employee, you will need licenses for that. So under fourth option, you'll be able to buy licenses on the fly or on the go. So let me first start with the first, which is manage role. Now you see already there are multiple roles which are listed here. These are the roles which are created earlier. So you can go and edit role, and you can actually make changes to the given role. For example, this is a role for a development executive, and there are certain competencies which are assigned to the development executive. There are 6 competencies actually which has to be selected, and we can select any 6. Now under this, if you want to change the competencies which are applicable to a given role, that we can do from here by selecting that and removing any other competency which we don't need. Similarly, if you want to change the make any other changes here, that can also be enabled using this. Now, if you want to go back and create a new role, now suppose in this case the role is of a team leader, software developer kind of, and you want to evaluate certain individuals on that function, on that competency for a team leader, and or maybe you want to consider certain number of people for promotion from a senior software developer to team leader role. This is just an example, and you want to see how fit they are into this for this role. So for that also it can be used. Now the first field here is role code. So this is the internal role code for the organization. You can put anything. For example, here in this case, let me put team leader software developer 001. There's an is editable field, so you can put anything. The company name I will just put as ABC Limited, and then the role title is team leader software developer. And then you have experience level. Now in the experience level, basically the difficulty level of questions will be different for people with different experience level. Now this is a team leader role, so let me put it as 3 to 7 years, which is a medium kind of range. And then you can also define the role description, again editable. And then you can define the country and the state. You can just select any state. And then you have to select the right kind of competency here. When you select the right kind of competency, now for this role, because it's a team leader software developer, let me understand that what the first skill will be information technology. Then there's a customer service role. Then there's a teamwork and collaboration role. There is a element of project management, and then there can be something like critical thinking, and then there can be a written communication. These 6 skills I have selected, which I consider as the 6 best skills needed for this role. Now it can be, variable depending on what an organization thinks are the right competencies for this role. They can select whatever they want. And now I'll just create this. So my role is now created. So the first step is complete. Now on the second step, I will assign this role to a given number of employee or a particular employee in this case. In fact, I can also assign it to a large number of employees using the bulk upload functionality. In this, I'll just have to download a CSV file, the sample CSV file. And in the same format, I can add multiple rows of data of n number of employees, say 50 to 100 employees or whatever number that I want. And then I can upload and automatically, depending on the role that I assign to them, it will be automatically assigned to all these employees. In this case, I will not use the bulk allocation. I'll just simply add a single employee just to show you how the demo works. Now this is one employee and then there is some employee number. Whatever phone number that we want, I'll just use some demo phone number. And then some password. So whatever password that we give here, actually this password will be sent to the in the email. The employee will receive this password as well as a link where the test needs to be given. And then postal code depending on the location. And the role for which the test needs to be assigned and the experience level. Now we can give the option for employee to download the report, or if we don't want, then we can just restrict it and only the HR professionals or the learning professionals or the authorized people will be able to see the report. So now this we can create. So now the test is actually assigned to the individual. If you go to this email ID, you see that invitation to take employee learning test is now coming. So the employee can go there and take the employee learning test. Now this website is shown as Bodhami. In this case, in the white label cases where the platform is white label, it will actually show the organization's name. It will not show Bodhami's name. And all this, this email will also be configured from the email which is going from the organization. So everything will be configured as per the organization, the white label platform. So now this person has to go and give this test. And they have to use the same user ID and password which is given in this email. So as the employee goes on the dashboard, they can take test. And when they take test, they will see multiple languages option. They have to select the most appropriate language. So let me select English and start taking the test. Now all these, so this test will have two parts. The first part will be more like an aptitude evaluation, and the second part will be the functional evaluation. So both the part needs to be completed by the employee. So let me answer this test first, the aptitude part and then the functional part. I've completed the aptitude test, so I'm submitting it. And now the next section, which is on the functional area test, will start. So now we have the functional test, which will start. The functional test will have 6 questions from all the 6 functional parameters or the competencies that we had selected. So I'll answer this also as well. So now I have completed the functional test. I just submit it. And now the report has gone to the HR or the learning manager, and they can go through the report and understand employee's performance. So let me go to the employee manager login and see the report. So now as you can see, I'm on the employee or the HR manager's dashboard, and I can now go to the manage employees and see the report for the aptitude and the functional test which was given by this employee. So I have to just click on the view report and the report will open. So now the employee learning report is opened, and I can go through the report to understand how the employee has performed in this aptitudes plus the functional test. Now you see the overall aptitude score is 64.9 and the functional score is 677.8, which is quite a good score. And there are areas in which the employee has strength and the areas in which the employee needs improvement. For example, under aptitude, the analytical, speech and discipline are the best. And written communications, information technology application and the customer service skills are very strong in the functional area. There are certain areas where the employee has not done well in the aptitude. For example, the functional improvement areas are critical thinking, project management, and teamwork. So now it depends on how the organization takes it and how they want to evaluate and which all parameters they want to focus on. They can actually, based on that, decide whether to consider this person for that role or how the employee performance has been. The overall performance looks good holistically. Now we can look at the detailed report. There is how this report has been arrived at, that is described here. It is based on artificial intelligence, and close to 10,000 actual career professionals have gone through the test, and based on that an algorithm has been developed which actually using association algorithm finds out the best suited, finds out whether the particular career is good for an employee and what is the overall suitability level. Now we have the holistic skill mapping in terms of how the employee has performed in different areas in terms of the functional area. It's just for information purpose. The overall 360-degree profile, which are the areas which are good, which are the areas which are not so good, we can understand from this, and the intelligence, physical and social quotient. Then we have the overall skill level out of 14 different skill areas, which are the skills in which the employee is strong. The employee skill is shown in blue and the median level is shown in red. So this comparison will actually tell us out of 14 different areas where all the employee has performed very well and where all the employee has shown weakness. So I think in this it shows that in certain areas like leading vision, literacy, communication self-discipline, the employee is much better than average. And the creative visualization is one area where the employee needs. Collaboration is another area where the employee needs some kind of improvement. So the same thing is now areas good and areas need improvement is mentioned here. And then the overall skill level for the employees out of 14 different skill areas, how it compares with the median level. The employee skill is in blue, which you can see on the screen, and the median is in red. How does it compare to the median? How does the performance look like? In some areas, the employee is very strong, like analytical, leadership, memorizing, and some areas are average, like emotional intelligence, language skills, and some of the areas are actually very weak for the employees. For example, visual perception and social collaboration actually looks weak. Now we can actually go to the functional level test as well and see the overall functional performance. So this is the functional, based on the functional test, the second part of the test, you see the functional score. And the blue is employee's performance and the red is median. So I think overall the employee has done much better compared to the median performance. I think only in one area, teamwork and collaboration, the employee is close to median. Otherwise, the employee has done much better. In some of the areas like customer service and written communication and the information technology, in fact, the performance is really very good. Critical thinking also, it is better than average. So overall, out of 6 different competencies, how the performance looks like the score is 100 out of 100, written communication, customer service, information technology also is very good at around 83. And then there's some average scores like project management and teamwork, and critical thinking is at the median level. So this is how the employee performance looks like. And looking at the employee performance, actually we can make a decision in terms of how the employee is performing at this level, or whether to consider the employee for promoting to this level. So that can be considered. The overall persona can also be seen for the employee. And then based on the persona, the 10 different persona types can be analyzed. Starting with whether it is an enterprising or whether it is an imaginative person, how disciplined, how meticulous, how perseverant, how social, how analytical, how perceptive, athletic, inventive, all those kind of persona can be analyzed from here. And then there are some learning recommendations as well. So if there's some learning courses need to be recommended for different skill area, that is also there. So this is how the overall performance can be analyzed. And then you can also enable this report later to the employee. So employee can also view the report. That is also possible. And based on this, the decision can be taken. Now, the third parameter which we had was view demo is like just like seeing the demo of how the platform looks like. The fourth is buy licenses. So for assigning the test to the employee, we need licenses, and we can directly purchase the licenses from here. And in the bulk licenses, the prices are low based on the volume of the license. And once we have the license with us, for example, here we see license remaining, license purchased 15, employee assignment 14, which means already 14 test has been assigned to the employees and only one license is left. So you can assign it to one more employee. And 13 is employee submission, which means 13 employees who have been assigned the test, they have submitted the test, and now you can see the report. So if the employee has not submitted, they'll be able to see on the dashboard. Similarly, at the employee level also, you can just go and check under actions. When the report is view report option is coming, it means the test has been submitted. Otherwise, the view report option will not come. Here we can report visible to employee, we can make it yes. So if we do it yes, then the employee will start seeing the report. So this is the overall functionality for the HR and the learning managers who can do the functional evaluation for employees for a given role based on the competency that they select.